Hey guys, Nerfs have been out for 2 days now. The meta is starting to become a thing, and we're kind of figuring out what's working, what's not. And I want to talk about some of the big winners and maybe some of the big losers as well of the Nerfs. And remember, we had a first day of school Nerf, we had a Crab Rider Nerf, and we had a Hysteria Nerf. We had a Man Crick Nerf, and we had, I feel like I'm forgetting something, a Refreshing Springwater Nerf. And what effectively this has done, because the first day is one of the best cards in Paladin, but what it's done is actually Secret Libram Paladin has become S tier out of the blue. And this surprised me. And interesting, there's a lot of like small things that add up, I think, in this. One, Hysteria going to 4 mana just makes it a little bit slower, a little weaker. You know, maybe they can't weave a hero power in, maybe they can't redevelop as well. Two, I think Crab Rider is actually a huge buff to Secret Libram Paladin because now they can be a little bit greedier and they don't have to worry about getting smorked down by Crab Rider. So that's really interesting. That surprised me. So now, because you don't have to worry about, you're not getting first of stay, hand of doll by Secret Paladin, you don't have to worry about that. So Secret Libram Paladin just becomes that much stronger because of that. I think also Refreshing Springwater, just one other thing of just being a little bit slower gives you a little bit more time, a little more breathing room for Secret Libram Paladin. And it is dominating right now. It is everywhere on ladder. Everyone's playing it. It's the biggest winner of the Paladin nerfs might have been Paladin. It's just a Hydra that you cut off one head and another head just sprouts up. It's an interesting. Secret Paladin and Aggro Paladin are still doing good. I think at top 1,000 they kind of get a little bit worse, and I expect them to get a little bit worse. But at top one, just general legend, they're still very strong. I consider that not as much of a winner, just kind of staying the same. Token Druid, a big winner, I think, currently, but I'm more like a small winner. Face Hunter. Some of that's also just any new meta. These decks are just solid decks that are preying on a lot of the weak decks. But the next deck we got, and this is at Legend, that I consider a big winner, maybe not at my level, but at the sort of Diamond and Legend level, is Primordial Druid. And Primordial Druid got a lot of things that helped with it. One, just everything got a little bit slower. No Crab Rider, no Hand of a Doll on the first day of school. This means you're less likely to get quickly smorked down as a Primordial Druid. But then also, the little subtle thing is that N'Zoth got buffed to 9 mana. So what does that mean? Primordial Protector doesn't get N'Zoth anymore from it. So that just makes it a little bit better. And all those little things, it's all of a sudden a very strong deck on the climb. So I highly recommend this as you want to do something different. Decline the Legend. My dad's gotten Diamond 5 with it a bazillion times. It's a really solid deck, and it's doing quite well right now. Not now at my level, probably not. So you might start playing this deck. I bet if you're kind of like maybe you're a Diamond player, maybe you're a Gold player, I expect you to do really well with this deck, and then it kind of to topple off at some point, but you're going to do really well for it for a while. So play with it until you start doing less well with it. And then so next we got so you can see Rogue just doing solid, Rush Warrior, a lot of things that you expected to kind of do solid, but interesting enough, no Minion Mage and Control Priest at the Legend level are not doing that great. They're not doing horribly, but Control Priest are not doing well. I didn't expect this to be dropping off so much, but it's not doing well. And I think it's just not the meta. Like even Aggro Shaman is beating Control Priest right now. We played an Aggro Shaman build on stream last night. It was actually doing really well until Paladin started this, so it's not something I quite recommend yet because Paladin's so prevalent. But when your Priest build is not even doing as well as your Shaman build, it's not that great. So the Nerfs worked on Priest, it looks like, and it looks like they worked on Mage, but they didn't work on Paladin. Paladin is dominating. It's absolutely annihilating. And it is the deck to beat once again. And so I think we're going to have an Age of Paladin again. Paladin is going to... So these nerfs, paradoxically, it might have been counterproductive. So it's we'll see though. But it is very. I did not expect Paladin to be the big winner of the nerfs, but it looks like it clearly is. Secret Libram Paladin is probably S tier right now, which is crazy. It's absolutely nuts. So next I wanted to show you just 3 of the lists that I was talking about. So Secret Libram Paladin. This is the list that I'm recommending. Doing really well, really solid. Just runs Reckoning, doesn't run Avenge anymore, only runs 4 secrets. We don't draw that many secrets, so we just want to have it as a little bit. Usually only get 1 Sword of Fallen in a game, but just having 1 can be really nice. And then next I got Deathrattle Demon Hunter. Now I was playing a Deathrattle Demon Hunter on stream there in Zoth, and I think that list was very suboptimal. This is a much simpler sort of list. And it's running, I like that it's running Curtis Ashfallen, and it's running this Felsting Executioner. Now, if Libram Paladin takes off, this list might not become good anymore. But if Paladin's just kind of a presence, which I don't expect to be, I think at least for a while, this deck, it beats Mage and it beats Priest. So in theory, at High Legend, just a couple of weeks ago, or like a few days ago, this would have been really good. All in the meta that was before with the buffs, but the reality is the meta is adjusting and Paladin's becoming really prevalent. But I still think this deck is really solid overall. And if you want to do something a little different, I think Deathrattle Demon Hunter is actually a very solid choice to climb right now. Not as good as Paladin. You're not going to be Paladin, but it's really solid overall. And here's a Primordial Druid list that I recommend. This one is running double Feral Rage. Pretty much 28 of the 30 cards are pretty much set in stone. You're always going to run Primordial Protectors. You're always going to Survival, Clowns, Strongman, Guardian Animals. But the Feral Rage, you can run 2 Lunar Eclipses. But I think this is I've seen this list. It looks real nice because you can actually heal. So sometimes you stabilize and your opponent's trying to burn you down and you can heal out. So if you're playing against like a Hunter or something. So I think these 3 lists are sort of big winners. Now, Libram Paladin went from probably tier 2 to tier S. Deathrattle Hunter went from tier 4 to tier 2. And Primordial Protector, Druid, kind of is tier 1, I'd say, at the low level. Probably drops off at the high level. So all solid lists to play. So if you want something a little different, like I said, a lot of decks that were working before are still working. Rush Warrior, Primordial Druid, Face Hunter, all very solid lists. But if you want to do something a little different, these are the 3 decks I recommend post-nerf. So anyways, happy climbing and enjoy.